Hi everyone, welcome to your week 34 Modern World launch, and we are going to finish up our project on World War I. And I'd like to update you guys on the Focus on the Finish challenge. This was updated on Friday, April 13th at 11 a.m. So anything you did after 11 on Friday or over the weekend has not been included yet. So please keep that in mind. It will be added into next week's count. So right now, 8th grade is growing their lead a little bit. They have 9.1 points per learner. 7th grade has 8.4 points per learner. And 9th grade has 4.8 points per learner. I don't want you guys to get discouraged because you're actually up an entire point per learner from last week. So last week you had 3.8 and you are up 4.8. Also, last week, I think we only had 12 of 24 of you attempt anything. Last week, we had 15. So 3 of you crawled out of the woodwork and started submitting some work. So there are some positives. You should be proud of yourself. And the best thing is you guys need to remember you have 2 weeks left, that if you guys would just start working, the ones who are not working, you have more to do than any of the other classes. So you could come back in these last 2 weeks and take the whole thing. So 2 weeks to get to work. As of Monday, April 16th, there are 30 days left. So that means there's about 5 weeks of school. I don't know, no, 6 weeks of school left. And then you want to make sure that you're completing all of your work by that hard deadline of May 25th. I know that you guys some of you I think are remembering last summer where you had all summer to work on things and there was no real hurry. I assure you again, that is not the case. There are 3 options this year. Your first option is to actually do your work like you're supposed to and finish the entire class by May 25th, the hard deadline, and finish all of your classes. The second option is if you are somebody who has been working some and you've completed about 50 to 70% of the course and you just need an additional few weeks to finish, we will be telling you who's eligible for summer school, and you may purchase those courses for $100 per course to finish each one. And then the third option would be if you fail more than one course. So if you fail 2 courses, you will be retained in your current grade level. So you will not advance to your next year's grade. So those are the 3 options. The easiest one would be just to get to work and use the 30 days wisely. And if you don't believe me, I'd like you to listen to our principal, Mrs. Salyards, kind of say the same thing.
Remember, the end of the year is a hard deadline to finish. There will not be an option just to get extra time to finish out what you're doing. So this is your reminder to really keep working and finish strong, and be in touch with your learning guides and me. If we can help you in any way, we're more than glad to do that. Please attend learning labs to get some concentrated work time in, and looking forward to lots of great work from you guys. And hang in there, it's almost summer.
All right, so like she mentioned, Learning Lab is probably the #1 way that you guys can get some help. So those are typically every Monday and Thursday from 1 to 3. And I think that the people that do come, they come regularly and they get the help they need. And those are the ones who will likely have a chance of finishing these courses on time without even needing the summer school. So we can knock out a couple focus areas for you. We can work on projects. It's definitely the #1 way to get some work done in a short amount of time. This week I want to focus on, I know that not many of you are yet working in this project, so I don't want to advance even further when you're not really sure what I'm even talking about at this point. So there's really only a couple of you ready to move on to checkpoint 3. So what I want to do is stop and focus more on the cognitive skill that we're addressing, and that is called synthesizing multiple sources. Basically what synthesize means to combine several things into a whole. So like the image suggests, you're putting the pieces together. And in terms of this class and in terms of history and English, what you're doing in this project is you're synthesizing information across multiple sources to support an argument or explanation. So basically, rather than focusing on just one source, like one document, you are looking across the board at a couple different types of sources to find similar information that's going to make your argument stronger. So why is synthesizing multiple sources important? The more pieces of similar evidence you have for an argument, the more credible your argument appears. And it's important to group your sources. So whenever you are writing, you want to stay organized. You can group your sources based on if they're in support or opposition of a certain topic, the type of source, whether it's that they're all newspaper articles or speeches, the time period. So is everything written from, the perspective of somebody in 1865, maybe on the topic. So whenever you're looking into these, we pretty much break the topic down for you. So you just want to find some different opinions rather than focusing on just one document. And I pulled up this cartoon here because this is a teenager who's made an argument map, and she's showing her parents, and she says, this explains why I should be allowed to go to the party on Friday night. So rather than just saying, I want to go to this party, I should be allowed, and they ask why, and you say because, she has a documented list of about 20 reasons of why she should be going to that. So that's what we mean by synthesizing multiple sources. You want to strengthen your argument and make people believe it. Also, remember to look at the rubric. I don't feel like enough of you actually use the rubric that the Summit provides you. Remember, they're at the bottom of every single checkpoint, every single project. You want to scroll down to the bottom, and then you'll see these numbers 4, 5, and 6. And for 9th grade, the 4 is passing for you, but that's bare minimum. So I recommend always looking at the 5 and trying to just make sure that you're doing the things that are outlined there. So with this skill, what I'd be looking for to say that you're at grade level is that you've made connections among sources, and those connections are made by grouping similar information or positions from multiple sources or identifying significant differences between the sources. So you're basically, we're looking to see how well you can group similar information and kind of compare and contrast those. And if you aim for a 5 and you don't quite get there, at least you're at a 4 and you're still at grade level. Just a couple reminders for week 34 that runs Wednesday, April 18th to Tuesday, April 24th. PSSA makeup days, and actually you guys are in 9th grade, so you can scratch that. I want you guys to try to master the effects and costs of World War I focus area. If you have not done the main causes of World War I focus area, that one should be completed as well. And then also if you guys are done and trying to help your team win, move on to those additional focus areas. Try the enabling forces of imperialism. And then I would also like to see you guys trying to submit at least one checkpoint, preferably get up to checkpoint 2 so that we can have more of the group ready to move on to checkpoint 3 next week. And then your reflection for this week is I want you to tell me 2 things that you will submit in history this week. So please don't be somebody who's just going to answer this question and tell me 2 things just to get the point for this, because this is something that I am going to go back and look at next week. Look at your schedule. You don't have to master a focus area, but there's no reason for nobody to be trying at this point. So go in, tell me which 2 things that you are going to try hard this week to get done and turn green in history.